She was a fairy.
So, today's reading is going to be about why you cannot move on from the person on your mind. This could be a platonic connection as well. This could be a friend. I don't think this is for family members, but like a romantic or a platonic connection. Friendships and relationships. That's what we're navigating in today's reading. So, I'm going to keep it kind of brief. And we have two piles today. Pile number one is this painter woman with an afro, and pile number two is this shell, this seashell. Pile number one and pile number two. So choose your pile intuitively, and I'll see you in your reading. If you chose this painter lady, then this is your reading, pile number one. So we are going to divide this into three parts. First off, we are going to check what are the energies of your person, so you can kind of confirm whether this is your reading or not. And then we're going to see what current energy are you in, and then we're going to figure out what is the core issue, why you cannot move on from this connection, what were the energies, or what is the impending karma, whatever the situation is. We're going to see that. So first off, starting with your person's energy. What is pile number one's person's energies in the connection? Pile number one's person's energy in the connection. This is my very first deck, by the way. I when I got into tarot, this is the deck I started off with. But anyways, damn, was this a one-sided connection? Just saying. But for your person's energies, 8 number could be significant. We have 8 of cups in reverse, and we have 8 of wands in reverse, and 10 of pentacles in reverse. See, 10 of pentacles is a card about, usually ignore that. 10 of pentacles is a card about being in a state of loss or conflicted energy, like mourning over something that was built on a long term basis, something that was built within a lot of efforts and a really long period of time. Usually really deep energy connection. Okay, there was a deep and probably ongoing energy connection within you and this person. Okay, and with the 8 of cups in reverse, we have this person is still not over this connection. Okay, this person is still holding on to the connection, and that's we're gonna get deep into why is that. But yeah, this person is still holding on to the connection. This person is still mourning over the loss of your connection. Okay, and they somewhat feel one-sided too in this connection, and they feel like there was lack of something in this connection, lack of love, lack of commitment, lack of something from your side, which is why they feel one-sided in this connection. And within the loss, they feel like they finally were you know getting something stable out of this connection. They were finally on that place in their life where they could create something stable with someone, and that shattered. This is what this person is thinking about. And yeah, this person is kind of thinking like they're taking the blame on a minuscule amount of the loss of this connection within on themselves, because of their low self-esteem. Like maybe they thought that they were not good enough for this connection. Yeah, they think that they were not good enough for this connection, and that you maybe had multiple options, or maybe you had people that were manipulating you in the connection. You means the viewer who's watching this video. Your person thinks that there were some people, maybe your friends, involved in the connection, or someone like you were getting outer advice over this connection, over about this person from some exterior source, maybe some friends or something. Some, maybe there would have been some dramatic situation or a third party situation. Like your person thinks that there was involvement of some other person, some other parties. This is giving a competitive energy. Yeah, Three of Pentacles, yes. This is confirming that your person really thinks that maybe you were in the influence of someone else for taking responsibility of this connection, which is why they feel low self-esteem. Like, what is in those people she's asking or he's asking for advice for? Why is this not? Why is this person not coming up to me to talk? Why is this not? Why is this person not, you know, taking that leap of faith within this connection by themselves? Like, why do they have to ask other people about what is going on there in mind connection? Why do someone else have to be in the middle of it? And they primarily think that this is the reason why things shattered in the first place. Yeah, they think that you're communicating to other people, and you, instead of whatever you were searching for in other people, they think that you should have come to them about that. Okay, you should have come to them. Exactly. They think that this was very kind of immature for you to do that. Like, if you have a problem with your connection, if you have a problem with your person, why would you go to a third person to ask for that? Why would you go to another person to get validation over that? If something is bothering you about this person or this connection, you should have gone to them. This is what they think. No judgments. And this person is angry, and at the same time this person is like, it hurt them deeply. Okay, this thing, whatever you did, this kind of broke their heart in a way that they're questioning their self-worth. Like, was I not enough? What was I not doing? What was I not giving to this person? What was not, I not contributing in this connection that my person had to seek for it somewhere else? Okay, so this is the reason why they find it hard to let go. Okay, they just cannot get the answers over it. Like, they just keep thinking about it, like, why did they do that, and why they could not do that with me? This is the thing that is holding them on. Like, they need answers over that. Okay, they really need answers on that. They really want to communicate to you about that. They want a closure about this from you. Exactly. They feel that, according to their perspective, the connection was kind of joyous, hopeful, optimistic, kind of, childlike love energy or whatever. But wait, did I say that this was a romantic reading? I don't know. Did I? I guess not. This, okay. This could be a platonic situation as well. But yeah, this person feels like your energy was very heartfelt, your connection was very heartfelt. What could possibly go wrong in this? And like, it just doesn't make sense to them. According to them, this was all sunshine and good. And when they got to know about this, that you were talking to other people about your connections mishappenings, they just can't understand it. They just don't know. They're like very confused. Exactly. They feel kind of betrayed in a way by you. Like, why did you do that? Like, this is literally their energy. Like, why did you have to do that? Okay, so that is what we had for their energy. Now we're going to check what are your energies in the connection. Pile number one. Let me get connected to your energies. Hold on. Okay, so what was the viewer's energy in this connection? What was pile number one's energy in this connection? What was pile number one's energy in this connection? Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so immediately I'm picking up on something, that you were feeling trapped in this situation. Okay, you were feeling very trapped emotionally. You were like, okay, we'll get into the depth of it. You were feeling like maybe that your person was overly passionate or overly confident about the connection, or they had maybe set up some unrealistic hopes from you or this connection, or they were too positive about this connection. Like, whatever the dynamics were, your person, you feel like they were overly intense in that sense. Okay, like, you were like, bro, we can just go with the flow. Like, why do you have to make it so intense? And they were like, no, this is what love is. Your person is kind of like, according to you, they were kind of like Bollywood ka pyar or something, which is why you used to feel emotionally trapped. Like, you didn't have your choices. Like, You feel like you had to play by this person's expectations in this relationship. Exactly. There would have been, for you, maybe you figured something out about this person, okay? Maybe something that in the beginning you didn't think would be like that, but later on this connection you figured out like, okay, maybe this person was like that only, and I was just too busy to focus on that. Maybe I was just too, deeply in something to look at that side, okay? And we actually got this about your person as well. This is a card of disagreement. Maybe you guys had a fight over a third party something, which is why, like, this is the core reason. Maybe this was a core reason of your guys' separation. I have no idea if you're watching this for a platonic or romantic connection. Take it the way it resonates for you, but your person feels like your surroundings were selfish. Oh, sorry, I'm telling this from your perspective. Like, even you used to think like your person was manipulated by other people, and your person used to think like you were manipulated by other people, or there was some other friendships, other relationships, other connections involved, which is why this connection broke off. That is for sure. That is for sure. Yeah. So you feel like your person was very, like I said, now you figured something about your person in this connection later on that you did not see in the beginning, which is that your person lacks confidence. Okay, they may show on the exterior that, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, I'm such a sigma alpha person, but deep down they were very impulsive. Maybe they had some temper issues and some show off issues. Okay, maybe they used to uh, flaunt things. Maybe they used to flaunt your connection in a way which was not true. And this is what I meant by setting unrealistic expectations. Your person used to imply a side of your connection that was not actually there, but in their head, and they used to impose that idea over you. And I saw 11:11 on the clock. Anyways, and you used to feel pressured by the idea of it, like you were down for that connection, but the way this person was portraying that to you and other people was kind of feeling heavy on you. Okay, that was kind of heavy on you. And yeah, you were feeling very stuck in this connection mentally. You were very stuck, and maybe there were constant fight over this. Maybe you tried to make your person understand a lot of times and they just didn't listen, because this is giving a impulsive energy, a person who just wants, a person who thrives on conflict basically. um what else? Again, a card about involvement of other people. There is something related to that. Okay, there is something related to that. Maybe you were actually talking to other people, but not in the sense that your person think you were. And we also have Cancer energy. Okay, so the viewer, what I'm getting is that you were genuinely down bad in this connection. Okay, you were genuine at first, but as days passed, you figured out that what expectations and what mindset you entered this connection with your person was not um, diving into it with the same intensity as you, with the same pace as you. They were looking at it from a different lens, and you were looking at the connection from a different lens. And that thing, that perception collided at some point in the connection. Okay, you will generally have feelings for this person. We literally have the lover's card, but with the given situation, you had to make a choice. Okay, maybe you were the one who left this connection. Maybe you were the one who made the choice after gaining clarity over this person's mindset and the mindset they were in this connection in. And with that choice, you chose to not be stuck anymore, and you took that bold step to leave this connection. Okay, so these were the energies of you and your person. Now we're going to see why you cannot move on from this connection. Why, pile number one, why this viewer cannot move on from this connection. What is the core issue? Why they cannot move on from this connection? Why pile number one cannot move on from this connection? Okay, this is giving like you are still stuck in some cycle. Okay, maybe you are still in touch with this person, maybe you guys are still talking. There is something that is repeatedly going on even after the connection has ended, maybe a conversation that's repeatedly going on, or let me clarify that. There is one person, either you or them, that has very impulsive energy, a person who is not patient, okay? Someone is not very patient in this connection. We have here, we have two of cups reversed, okay? So why you cannot move on from this connection exactly? The high priestess just fell out, okay? You cannot move on from this connection is because, first thing, that maybe there is still something going on related to the connection. Maybe there are some residue still present that you had not gotten rid of. And with the two of cups in reverse, this is giving that usually the end of this connection is what's affecting you, but because you had to make the choice to leave this connection, okay? You were the one who had to make the choice to leave it, even though you were not at fault. This is what you feel, that you were the one not at fault, that you were the one patient, you were the one not impulsive, you were the one who was sure about everything, who were the one who was, did I say who were the one? You were the one who was genuinely dedicated to this connection, you were the one who was genuinely present in the connection and trying to understand the connection deep down. You were just not there for the play or just for the sake of it. You were genuinely there because you were present, you wanted to be there, okay? And you had to make the choice to move away from this connection because you were putting all effort. Like, this don't make sense to you, that you were giving your 100% and still you are the one who had to move away from this connection, whereas it should be this person. Like, you are the one who has, you feel like you are the one who has to take accountability of the loss of this connection somehow. You feel that you feel the weight of the loss of this connection on your end or on your shoulders, that somehow this is all on you, that you were the one ended this connection. So it's like a, it's putting up a weight on you, that maybe people are telling you this, or maybe the person that you were in connection with, maybe they are making you feel this way, that you are the one who made the wrong choice, that you are the one who got it all wrong, and that you don't know anything about love, you're immature, something like that. Maybe a person made you feel that way, and you just feel that you were putting your 100%, you were putting your all, ठीक है? You were doing what you could to keep the connection alive, to keep the spark alive, and yet it didn't go the way you wanted. So that has got a hold on you. But let's see what else. Why pile number one can't move on from this connection? Why pile number one can't move on from this connection? We have be here now, okay? Like I said, you are not present anymore. You are either thinking about the whys of the connection, like, I was putting all the efforts and this person was not doing anything, this person was constantly bugging off the connection, this person was constantly setting up unrealistic expectations, whereas I was the one holding all of us together, holding the whole connection together. Why did I say all of us? Okay, yeah, but you think that you were holding the connection really well together all on your own, and you did not get any credit for that, and that this person did not hold the accountability equally for the end of this connection, and that you have to carry it all alone. Not only you have to carry the connection while the connection was still alive, even after the end you have to carry it, you have to carry the baggage of the end of the connection. And you're just lost in the thoughts, you're not present, you are just, you're too much anxious about what has happened. You need to be present, okay? Yeah, you need to be present and charged ahead. Double confirmation. You are thinking too much about the past, of what has happened. I just gave you the clarity over what is your. Okay, we got one last move. Maybe you are still hoping. Maybe you are still exactly. Maybe you are still hoping from this person that they would come up to you and apologize in some way. That maybe they would come up to you and tell that maybe they would finally hold the accountability from their end. Maybe they would finally come and sort things out from their end. And you're waiting for them to text you about something, or maybe you are just hoping for one last chance in this connection. You still has maybe hopes that this person can still change. Like there's something, we literally have a card that says one last move and then release burdens. So you are just waiting for one specific moment that okay, if this happens, then I'll be free to move on. Like there is some choice, there is some condition that you want this person or yourself to follow in order to finally get yourself the kick, get yourself the final push to move on from this connection, release all the burdens, and just look towards what life has to offer for you and to finally charge ahead. You might be isolated right now, okay? You are spending too much time with yourself, which is not a bad thing, okay, which is a healthy thing, but too much excess of anything even healthy is bad. So if you have isolating tendencies, you're being called to not do that, okay? Maybe talk to someone about it. Talk to someone, let them know how they feel. This is how you can kind of release few ounce of that burden that you're feeling, okay? Exactly. Why you cannot move on is because you're not seeing what is real. You are still thinking about the whys. You are stuck on the whys too much. And because of the whys, you are still hoping for one last final move, just something from your person's end. You're hoping that just one last conversation maybe or something has to happen. And just in case you feel like your energy was resonating more with your person's energy and your person's energy was resonating more with your energy, that can happen too. Energy mirrors sometimes, take it however it resonates again, but you really need to see the connection for what it is instead of seeing it as like you did this could have happened only if this person has done that, whatever. Do not focus on the what ifs, what could have happened, what could have been said or done. Your person could have done anything, your person could have been present there, your person or you could have made different choices, but the point is you guys did not, they did not, you did not. So what's the point of even thinking about it? You need to accept the connection for what is really like right now. We have heart's desire, okay? So this is giving me that mentally and logically you have kind of given yourself the clarity that this person's, what is this person's fault or what is your person's fault, but deep down emotionally you are still hurt over it, okay? Emotionally you are still latched onto something from the connection. Like I said, residue, there is still the residue of this connection, and you're still somewhere desiring to be connected. Like I said, one last move. You are maybe torn between what your heart is saying and what your mind is asking you to do. You're feeling torn up between that, maybe. And you're feeling really burdened. Exactly. Rising flames. I feel like this, you feel like this. It says, let your passion guide you to the fulfilling purpose meant for you. Hold on. The light went out, anyways. Yeah, we have rising flames and heart's desire. You are still reminiscing about the amount of passion and confidence this person showed you in the beginning, and this is what's still keeping you from moving on. Like, exactly, you're not seeing the connection with what it is right now, rather you're focusing on what used to be, okay? You are not present here, you are thinking about the past, which is very normal and very valid, but you need to know that if this, yeah, exactly, you are focusing on the potential of this person, the version of themselves they showed you in the beginning. You're like, if they were able to do that, why did they not do it or whatever? But you really need to see it for what it is right now, not for what has happened or what it could be. That is coming as very clear. You need to, take that leap of faith that no matter how the situation gets, it is going to be fine one day, okay? You're not gonna cry over spilled condiments for the rest of your life, right? Just know that universe has got your back, okay? We literally have divine guided card. You are gonna get through this, okay? This is not going to stay forever like this. You are being protected. You are safe. Exactly. We have ocean of possibilities. Navigate through the boundless ocean of possibilities where the horizons whisper of untold opportunities and plentiful path. Just know that maybe there are other people out there, maybe you still have some other good friends, and that this person was not your only option. You still have a lot more people to connect with, and you still have a lot of life to live. And this person, so what if they are not anymore in it? You have got to live it. Okay, let's see what advice is coming for you. Advice coming for pile one. Damn, the cards fell out. The advice coming for you is take one step at a time, okay? You don't have to make up your mind that, oh, I have to move on like today. I have to get over this shit today. Just take small steps, okay? One day at a time. Think of one topic. Like, give yourself 5 minutes of the day, okay? You don't have to feel the all the damn day about this situation. Just keep yourself busy, keep yourself engaged with some creative things so that you don't get the time to think about it, and set a timer like for um sorry about that, I got a call. So just give yourself a specific time in the day to let it all out, okay? Maybe right before sleeping or right after waking up, you just set a time to feel things, okay? So that you don't have your whole day ruined with the thought of a person you don't have a connection with anymore. I know how that goes, but yeah, just set small milestones to get over the connection. This is the advice coming for you, pile number one. And I really hope this reading resonated with you. More power to you. So, yeah, I'll clear my spread and we'll move on to pile two. If you chose this shell, then this is your reading, pile number two. Pile number two. Um, we're gonna divide the reading into three parts. First, we're gonna check what are the current or what are the energies of your person in the connection. Then we're gonna see what are your energies in the connection, and third, why you cannot move on from this connection. So, starting off with what are your person's current energies, so you could know if this is your reading or not. What are pile number one? What are the viewers' person's energy in the connection? Okay, Five of Cup immediately fell out. This person could be in denial, okay, some sort of shit. Yeah, this person could be in denial. This person is crying over the spilled condiments. This person is. We have the justice in reward. In a way, this person feels wronged by you, maybe. This person feels wronged by you. And with the high priestess in reverse, maybe there was something that this person found out about this connection. There was something revealed, maybe something that this person was going on, but it turned out to be something else. And this person is currently, see, deep down they do have the grief of the connection. They think about the loss of it, but on the external side they are coming out as the king of wands and knight of swords. It's like they are having racing thoughts, and they are trying to shift their focus onto different tasks. Maybe they are trying to focus on how to not think about this connection right now, and they are currently in a kind of headstrong energy, okay? Even though they, okay, maybe this is like, that energy, glow up after a hurt, something like that. This is giving borderline that energy. This person, after, like, right now this person is in very high energy, and they are more focused on their life rather than this connection. Maybe because something was revealed to them, maybe because of the closure they got from this connection, something is like that. They are in a really good place, I would say, okay? They are finally learning how to trust. They are finally accepting something, and they are trying to take control of their life, focus and direct their attention towards thing that actually matters for them. They are maybe focusing more on their goal right now, or focusing or giving their time more to how they can be more creative in their life. Like overall energies, like they are focused on their personal life, okay, improving on their personal life. This is not so focused on the connection. What is the viewer's person's energy in this connection? Ace of Pentacles. This person is like, they they are maybe right now very focused on creating something for them. Maybe they are joining a new course or a job or something like that. Maybe they're going to start something new very soon. This is giving their energy. And we have Queen of Cups. Okay, yeah, okay, this is giving that this person is right now into very self-care mode. Okay, they are, like I said, they're focusing more on how to create the life they want for themselves, and how to accomplish their goals, how to fulfill their desires, how to generally create something that would benefit them in the long run in their life. They are not very focused toward your connections energy right now. They are more directed towards self-love in this connection, or maybe even were during whether you were connected to this person. Yeah, exactly. Nine of Pentacles. There is something going on in this person's life related to their long term success, their maybe a job, or maybe they just got a job or something, or maybe they scored really high in something. But yeah, there is something related to their financial and career life going on. And this person is kind of in pressure of that. Okay, this person is slightly in pressure of that. This person is feeling highly responsible because they cannot afford any distractions right now. They are focused on their personal goals and achievements. Exactly, they are coming out as very renewed energy. Okay, this person's energy has renewed. They are focused on themselves. Like this is very, self-care. This is kind of grown energy, energy that has grown after something malicious has happened to them. Okay, maybe, yeah, like I said, glow up after a heartbreak. This is the energy. This person is finally rising from the ashes, maybe the end of this connection or whatever downfall they had within your connection. This person is finally rising from that. Okay, they are finally growing from that. They are finally getting the closure from the end of this connection. They are finally learning how to balance. They are finally learning how to be patient with themselves and with other people. And they are still trying to adapt to the change, but they have got it covered. Okay, they have got it all sorted within themselves. So this was your person's energy. Now let's focus on your energy in the connection. What is pile number 2, or the viewer's energy in the connection? What is pile number 2 and the viewer's or the viewer's energy in this connection? Pile number two's energy. Hmm. Well, we have Three of Swords in reverse, which speaks about healing energy. And yeah, okay, okay. Okay, you are also in a really healing energy, okay? Financial rewards. Hmm. Pile number 2, your energy is coming out as very self-cared sort of energy too, okay? Maybe there had been a really terrible, not really terrible, but like some sort of tower moment in your guys' connection, but you both are like okay from that. Like, okay, you both are not coming out as very stuck into this connection. I don't know why you're watching this video, because your energy is clearly coming out as very healing, okay? Very healing. We literally have 3 cards that speak about self nurture, self care, very healing energy. You are no more trapped in your past thoughts, okay? You are no more trapped in your head. You are no more overthinking about what has happened, why has happened, and everything. You are no more crying over spilled condiments. You are no more grieving over the loss of this connection. In fact, you are trying to understand it. You are finally in the acceptance phase in a healthy way, okay? um in an active way, not a passive way. You are trying to, we have high priestess, like this is like your intuition finally made you understand something. You're finally understanding exactly. Maybe you're finally over your temptations. Maybe you were recently in some isolation sort of phase, okay? Maybe you used to be in some energy of overly defendant or overly aggressive, maybe kind of selfish, heartbreak player, womanizer or manizer sort of energy. You used to be in that maybe, but you are coming out as a healing from that, okay? You are evolving. You are in the energy of change, okay? Growing over the past, evolving over the past, stepping into a very calm energy, a very sort of nourishing energy. Yeah, you are no more rushing things. You are no more deep diving into things with intense motions. You're finally giving things time. You're finally learning how to listen to others. This is a major change in your energy, that you're finally learning how to listen to others, how to respect others, and how to respect other people's choices, and how to get your choices and your boundaries respected in a connection. Maybe you turn to God, something like that. Maybe you finally surrendered yourself to something. Yeah, this took time for you, okay? This did not come to you easily. Exactly. This come to you after a long period of time. Maybe this took you long enough to reach here. You have been through a really hard journey. Maybe you used to be stuck in cycles, but now you have finally learned how to get over it. This did not come to you easily. There was obviously delay, but you finally got it, okay? You finally got it. And we have the lover sideways, but this is giving that even though you have got it, there is something within you that is not. Wait, I wanna clarify that. Clarifying the lovers, we have act with clarity and on your own. Hmm. Okay, so this is giving that you are being asked to act with clarity from a situation, okay? Yeah, the lover sideways. Lover sideways is about a choice that you're kind of thinking whether you should do it or not, whether you should go for it or not, okay? And you know that you are all on your own and that you don't have this person anymore in your life, and you are thinking about acting with clarity on that, okay? Not acting out of emotions, not no more acting out of impulsiveness, finally acting out with clarity and patience. You are taking some alone time with yourself. You have got new perspectives of your own, okay? You are finally making decisions with clear insights and finally with purpose. This is like you have been through a renewal, okay? Like a choice that you made within this connection that embraced growth within you. But I don't see why you cannot move on from this connection. But yeah, let's see. Why the viewer, pile 1, cannot move on from this connection? Why pile 2 cannot move on from this connection? While why pile 2 cannot move on from this connection? Hmm. Even though you have got everything covered, okay, even though you have, it's like you're not very in that post breakup energy. You are in the process of letting go, and let me tell you, you have reached 70% there, okay? We have reached like 70% there. The work you had been through, the work you have done on yourself has paid off somewhat, and you are being rewarded for that. Actually, we literally have 7 of Pentacles. This is like getting the reward out of the amount of efforts you put into a situation, the amount of hurdles that you had to go through. You are being finally rewarded for that. and you're finally in a confident energy. But it is not even that you are why you cannot move on. It's like you are in the process already. You are already in the process of letting go, but there is just some residues. There are just some minor things that you need to focus on within this connection. There is something that you are not seeing clearly, okay? Maybe like there is something that you are not seeing clearly. You are focused on the on your personal life as much as your person is. You are also in self confident and self care and accepting energy. But I think you are navigating this whole situation from a not very emotionally driven way, but in a mentally driven way, okay? The way you are dealing with the situation is why it's not that you haven't moved on. It's that you are feeling like you have not moved on is because you are not dealing the situation with your emotions. You are maybe rationalizing the situation, you are trying to make sense of the situation. You are on your healing journey, which has to be with your heart, and you are dealing and riding along in your healing journey through your mind, okay, through the logical side of your mind, through the intellectual side of your mind. Instead of feeling through situations, maybe you are just marching ahead with no purpose ahead, okay? Exactly. The cards I got, act with clarity. You are too focused on the way you should act, the way you should do things. Maybe you are too much planning over what you should do because maybe you over evolved in some way. It's like I kind of relate to this file too. The thing is that you have gained clarity and you have processed the situation, but it's like you are not balancing the thing. Even though you have gained clarity, but you are like, you have made that your only perspective. It's like I've learned from the heartbreak, so now I'm gonna apply it to the every situation of my life, whereas you need to apply it only if it happens again. um, if you're hurt over someone, you only have to push that thing away. You don't have to push the whole world away to deal with that situation. Okay, so whatever way you have evolved from this connection, and maybe you are applying, maybe you are just being too analytical about the situation, okay? Instead of letting it flow clearly, you are being overly analytical about the situation. Maybe you are being overly cautious on your every second step. Maybe you are overly thinking about every thought that you get about this connection. It's okay to sometimes think about what has happened. It's okay to sometimes feel the things we used to feel once, that because they mattered to you, because they were special to you, because they meant something for you, okay? Maybe, but you are, because in your healing journey you are like, if I am healed, why am I even thinking about it? Because I think the idea that you have in your mind, the what healing means to you is somewhat different, okay? Maybe it's somewhat incorrect for you. The idea of a healed person is maybe a person who just doesn't gives a fuck. Maybe is a person who don't cares. Maybe is a person who is very focused onto their career. Maybe a person who's extremely focused onto their self growth. But this is not how things go, okay? We have to feel things, we have to balance it, we have to take precautions, but we don't have to put up a wall so high that no one can ever cross it again in order for you to never get hurt again. This is what your energy is coming out as. You're being overly analytical, you're being overly mental, calculation driven, rather than just going with the flow. Even if you are over the connection, you are like, now I know what everything means. Now I have gained clarity, I know how shit works, I'm gonna act this way. It's like you have changed your whole persona, and it has become very critical, very critical. Yeah, like you are thinking and rethinking your every step, every word, every action, like a spy, like a CIA agent or something. Your heart, you are not going along with your heart's desire, okay? Exactly, that's what I said. You're too much focused on how and what this is thinking, how is this processing your emotions, how is this navigating the situation, instead of letting this navigate through that. Exactly. Sorrow heals, crying heals, feeling the pain heals sometimes. In heartache's shadow, growth awaits. Let pain refine, not define you, as brighter days are promised. So, like I said, for you, there is a perspective of feeling that if you're crying over something, you are not healed yet. If you are still feeling bad about something, you are not healed yet. Like the idea you have for a healed person is very wrong. Okay, maybe you now see emotions as something that makes you weak. Maybe now you see emotions as something that um, makes you feel like you lose control. You see emotions, having emotions weak now. Maybe you didn't used to before, but now you do. Okay, why pile number two cannot move on from this connection? Web of connection. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You are not present. These two cards came out even in pile one. If you felt drawn to it, maybe you should watch it, but yeah, whatsoever, you are, even you are not present in this in this healing journey. You are either still calculating or trying to make sense of your actions through a logical way. Like, if you're trying to understand why you did something you did, or why the way you said something you said, why the person, you are trying to put yourself in shoes of everyone that was involved in your connection or friendship, whatever type of connection you're watching this for. You're trying to put yourself in everybody's shoes and you're trying to make sense for it. Like, what was going on this person's head when they said this, and what was going on in my head when I said this, and where did this thought rose from, where did this word even came from. Like, you're too much analyzing about the situations. You are not letting things flow naturally. You are blocking the natural flow of life. Bind energies. Slow climb. You need to understand that healing is a slow journey, okay? The residue I was talking about is maybe you still have that impulsiveness somewhere present in you, that if you want to get over something, you just want to get over it right away. If you want to get done with something, you want to get done with it right away. And I constantly kept getting the chariot card. I just didn't understand it. Why? Now I do. You have a very headstrong energy. Like, if you want to dive in, you just want to dive in with such intensity that you don't care what happens after. You just want to go for it. You have just that go-getter energy, fast paced. But you need to understand that healing is a slow process. Healing takes time. Healing needs patience. And all these cards came out reverse in your reading. Now it's making sense. Because you are too much focused on making sense out of it instead of feeling it. These things, these emotions were made to be felt and not analyzed. Emotions were meant to be. Should I zone out? Yeah, you need to feel what you're feeling instead of trying to make sense of it. Again, act with clarity. Maybe keep saying that to yourself, like, oh, no, 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 don't cry, because if you cry you're not going to heal. Or don't cry because healed people don't do that. Don't cry, why are you crying? You're over the connection, you're no more in the connection. Like, you are trying to make sense of everything that you're feeling. You're intellectualizing your feeling, and you think that you are self-aware in that sense, and that you have finally got it. Intellectualizing and rationalizing are not equal. Feeling and trying to make sense are not equal. You can feel first and then make sense of it later. You can feel first, you can go through it first, and then intellectualize it later, when you're done, when you have let it all out, when you have let your body release it. At least give yourself some time. It's okay to be not knowing everything. It's okay to be not making sense of every situation. We literally have to embrace the unknown. Maybe you panic when you don't know what is happening, so you get the urge to try to make sense of everything in your surrounding, even in your head. Even if you're feeling a tiny bit of something, you would want to know so bad why is it happening, because that gives you a sense of control over yourself before anyone else take that control away. You want to make a sense of it to yourself first. You need to keep an open mind, okay? You need to keep an open mind about these things. Your way is not the only way to deal with situations. We have Metamorphosis Mirage. This says, I'm going to read it. Embrace the tender transition. Tender means weak, fragile, soft, smooth. Embrace the tender transition between past form and the future possibilities. You don't have to make sense of it, because you have to understand that this is something very soft, very sensitive thing that you have to deal with care, and not with logical, not with such impulsive force, not with such explosive energy. Okay, what is the advice coming for pile number two? What is the advice coming for pile number two? The card just keeps falling out on heart's desire. Like a stash of cards just fell on the card that says heart's desire. Well, yeah, you need to let your heart control you, okay? Maybe you feel like whenever you followed your heart, you were stood in the same place over and over again, and that you did it all wrong. So now you have decided to shut the fuck up of your heart, and you ignore if you heard anything in my background. I'm so sorry for that. So yeah, you really need to let your heart decide, okay? Just try to follow through just for a week. Try to follow what your heart is asking you to do, okay? Whenever you feel like crying, just go for it. Find a safe space where you can be all alone. Not lonely, just alone. And you can cry it all out and then make sense of it, okay? Give yourself some time for it, okay? Healing is not meant to be done within one day. It is a slow process, it takes times. You are so hell bent on releasing the burden when you think that making sense out of it is the only way to get out of it, but that is not how things work. Exactly. Give yourself some time, okay? Be slow and patient with yourself. This is the biggest advice coming for you. Follow what your heart has to say. Not every situation is um, meant to be dealt with your mind. Your mind was supposed to take logical your mind was supposed to deal with logical situations, and given a connection takes two peoples and their soul, which is an emotional thing. So how, why do you think that you can deal with it with your heart or mind? Simple as that. Okay, so that was it for pile number two, and that was it for today's reading. I really hope it resonated with you, and more power to you, and thank you for watching.